Today in this video, let us see what are the important comparisons between the rectifier and the regulator. Now moving on to the topic, let us see the comparison between the rectifier and the regulator. So if you see here, this is the comparison table between the rectifier and the regulator. Now let us see the comparisons one by one. The first point is, in the case of rectifier, it converts pure sinusoidal input signal into pulsating DC output signal, whereas in the case of the regulator, it converts a pulsating DC input signal into the constant DC output signal. Second point is, in the case of rectifier, the output of the rectifier contains the ripples, whereas in the case of the regulator, the output of the regulator is a ripple free. The third point is, in the case of rectifier, the output voltage changes with respect to the load current, voltage and the temperature, whereas in the case of the regulator, the output voltage does not change with respect to the load current, voltage and the temperature. The fourth point is, in the case of the rectifier, it uses the devices such as diodes, whereas in the case of the regulator, it uses the devices such as transistors, op amps, etc. The fifth point is, in the case of the rectifier, it is not provided with overload protection, short circuit protection, thermal shutdown, etc. But in the case of the regulator, it is provided with all sorts of protection circuits. The sixth point is, the examples of the rectifiers are half wave, full wave and bridge wave rectifiers, whereas the examples of the regulators are Zener regulator, transistorized regulator, etc. The last seventh point is, if you observe here, this is the output waveform for the regulator, which is a pulsating DC output, whereas if you observe here, this is the output waveform for the regulator, which is a pure DC output waveform. So these are some of the important comparisons between the rectifier and the regulator. Finally, there is a quiz for testing your knowledge. Click on the link below so that you will be directed to the Google form quiz. Hope you like this video and understand the concept of what are the important comparisons between the rectifier and the regulator.